On this day, the whole world felt the fear of being dominated by an alien civilization. It was an alien ship nearly 60 kilometers in diameter. As it passed through the Earth's atmosphere, the sky was on fire. People who had never seen anything like it were running away in terror. Cars collided in the streets. Looking at the giant alien ship, everyone was scared out of their wits. Those who were awake began to run as fast as they could. The whole city was in a state of panic. The president immediately went on the air to address the nation, trying to calm the frightened people. But in the face of such a huge alien fire, panic was already spreading through the crowd. They began to pack their bags, planning to leave the city. In a strange twist, a man was screaming madly on TV.
Finding out our weaknesses! We've got to stop them! They're gonna kill us all!
There were rumors of numerous alien incidents. Now the rumors are true. Some extreme people are not panicking. They gather on the rooftops of tall buildings, holding up signs welcoming the aliens. David is a computer engineer. He accidentally decoded the signals from the satellites where the alien ships were hidden. It turns out there's not just one alien ship visiting Earth. There are 15 of them. They're stationed in the skies above every major city in the world. And when they're ready, they will attack the entire planet, and that will be the end of human civilization.
Oh my God!
David rushed to the White House with his father and tried to tell the president what he thought, but it was too late. As a gesture of goodwill, the military, in a gesture of goodwill, sent a helicopter to the vicinity of the alien ship, trying to communicate with the aliens through light signals. But in response to the friendly attitude of the American people, the alien ship responded with a laser missile. The helicopter was wiped out instantly. The war between mankind and extraterrestrial civilizations is about to erupt. The hatch at the bottom of the ship slowly opened. A blue light illuminates the entire city as a pillar of light falls. This 2,000-foot tall structure, the building was obliterated. Burning flames engulfing the city. At this moment, everyone felt the aliens' response. A huge shockwave destroys everything. People tried desperately to escape, but they couldn't outrun the judgment of death. Some are still struggling for their lives. Some have given up treatment and are waiting to die. At the same time, a laser cannon once again headed towards the White House. It was instantly annihilated, and Air Force One escapes without a hitch. In a matter of seconds, half the city is in ruins. In the midst of the panic, a mother is running for her life with her child in her arms. She saw the impending disaster. She kicked open a maintenance room in the tunnel and hid with her son. Then she called out for her dog. In the final moments of death, the dog jumped in too. When all was quiet, the whole city was in ruins. Only the mother and son and a dog survived. The military immediately organized a counterattack. The war between humans and aliens has begun. The pilots were shocked by the size of the object in front of them.
Holy God!
But there was no time for fear. With the general's order, all the fighters begin to lock onto their targets. Countless missiles are heading towards the alien ship, but things didn't go as smoothly as expected. The missiles were like rain on glass. No damage was done. The alien ship has an energy shield. The first wave of attack failed. The fighters immediately redirected their attack. They fired missiles at the alien ship again. The result is still the same. They are getting closer and closer to the warship. The pilots rushed to pull up. One of the fighters had no time to react. It hit the shield. It was destroyed instantly. They need to get out of range of the ship now, but it's too late. Among the battleships, the alien ship that flew out of the battleship launched a counterattack against them. Human fighters have suffered heavy losses, but the enemy suffered no losses. It turns out that this alien ship had a strong shield. Human beings can't be harmed by the enemy. Command Center, we can only watch the fighters being destroyed. There's nothing we can do. The technological depth is too great. The president ordered the fighters to retreat. The enemy was too strong. The human planes were destroyed. Only two fighters escaped, but there are still two alien ships behind them in order to distract the enemy, so they pulled up quickly. As a result, the captain lost control of the ship due to lack of oxygen. The next moment, the enemy destroyed the ship. At the same time, countless alien ships flew to the North American airbase. The entire base was attacked by the enemy. Facing the high-tech alien ships, soldiers who could not escape in time could only wait for death. The air base was destroyed. On the other hand, Steve led an alien ship into a canyon. The enemy is in pursuit. With their familiarity with the canyon, he dodged the alien ship's shells many times. Watching the fuel run low, Steve pulled the speed bumps off the fighters. The parachute blocked the view of the enemy. Then he ejected himself. The plane crashed into the cliff in front of it, and the alien ship, unable to react, and crashed into the ground. Steve landed safely in the air. He headed for the alien ship. As he opened the enemy hatch, a tail-wagging alien was coming out, but Steve punched it out.
Welcome to Earth.
He was dragging the unconscious alien across the desert. He was lucky enough to come across a caravan of fleeing refugees. Then they arrived at a secret military base nearby. After showing the captured alien to the guards let them in. It turns out that this base is the rumored Area 51. The first wave of alien attacks on Earth destroyed countless cities. Area 51 was the only safe place. The president's team, who luckily escaped the crisis, also came here. Looking at the alien ship in front of them, everyone was shocked. It turns out that the military has known about the existence of aliens. This is the alien ship. During the Roswell incident in 1947, and the bodies of the aliens in liquid containment, the Department of Defense has been conducting secret research on alien spacecraft for decades. Not only that, Area 51 holds even more incredible secrets. The professor immediately told the crowd the results of decades of research. These aliens were a kind of biological armor. Their tissue structure is similar to that of humans, a relatively fragile human organism. They have no vocal cords. By using a method similar to brainwaves. At that moment, the professor suddenly received a message. An alien who is still alive has been brought to the base. He rushed out to meet them. It turns out that Smith arrived with the convoy. The alien was sent to the isolation room, prepared for an autopsy. The professor started to cut the alien's armor with a scalpel, but the next moment, luckily, he was already dead. As the professor continued the dissection, the crowd finally saw the alien's face, and the alien's hands are slowly moving. They didn't realize the danger they were in. And then, two figures were reflected in the suddenly opened eyeballs. The professor turned his eyes to see. An invisible energy was stimulating his head. The alien slowly stood up. He launched an attack on the people in the lab. When the military brass arrived, the entire lab was covered in smoke. The president cautiously stepped forward. The officers tried to save the professor, but the general stopped him. When he saw the tentacles wrapped around the professor's neck, he realized that the professor was already under his control. As the smoke slowly cleared, the alien finally revealed its strange voice.
What is it you want us to do?
After speaking, the president held his head and fell to the ground. On the general's word, everyone immediately opened fire on the aliens in the glass enclosure. After a moment of intense pain, the president's consciousness received the ultimate goal of the aliens to come to Earth.
After they've consumed every natural resource, they move on.
The officers took out his pistol and fired several shots at the alien until the aliens died. The president finally decided to use nuclear weapons against them. And then a B-2 bomber with nuclear weapons took off for the alien warship. With a single command, a nuclear bomb is fired at the alien ship. The countdown is over. The bomb has hit its target. While everyone was cheering, but they got a piece of news that made them despair. The alien warship was unharmed. It was a moment of despair for all of them, and David got drunk. He was angry at his own incompetence, but his father's comforting words brought David to his senses. David thought of a way to fight the alien ship, so he rushed to wake the sleeping scientists and gathered everyone together. He placed a coke gun on the alien ship. On the alien ship, the first attempt, the bullet hit the shield. It bounced off the shield, scared the hell out of everybody. David loaded the ship with a virus. He had the officers take a second shot, and the bullet hits coke. The alien ship's shields disappeared. That's how David suddenly figured out how to make the ship's shields disappear. He's going to use this virus to send a signal to the alien mothership, destroying the shields of the alien warships. Only then can the human race launch a counterattack. But to reach the mothership, they must select two warriors to travel to outer space in this ship and infiltrate it to implant the virus. But even if they succeed, will only bring a few minutes to the battle, or even less. This is mankind's only chance. In order to prevent mistakes, David and Smith are willing to accept this mission. At the same time, the base begins to send a message to the world via Morse code to send a message of counterattack to the world. The two men soon arrived in outer space. A mothership the size of a quarter of the moon stood in front of them. As they approached, the ship suddenly lost control and went into autopilot. With him in tow, they began to slowly fly into the mothership. I can't believe what I'm seeing. I couldn't believe it. The ship flew over the heads of a bunch of aliens. On a huge platform below, millions of alien troops in perfect order seems to be preparing for the final invasion. At this point, the small ship is secured to a rack. David rushed to his computer and began uploading the virus. At the same time, Earth received the message. The human fighters are ready. A great war was about to begin. The virus was implanted, and the aliens were directly affected. The general gave the order to fire. The fighters fired a missile at the alien ship. With the appearance of a shield, the missile was successfully intercepted. The plan failed. The fleet had to retreat, but the president president was not satisfied, so he fired another missile at the alien warship. At this moment, all eyes are on the missile. As the missile exploded on the ship, the people were cheering. The fighters are back in formation. They're concentrating their fire and launch a full-scale attack on the alien ships. But against such a massive ship, the human missiles couldn't inflict any fatal damage on the ship. Then the alien ship flew out and began to counterattack. The shield has been broken. The humans and the aliens are on equal footing. In order to win, the warriors are attacking to the death. At the same time, the ground base was also attacked by alien ships. Soldiers began to suffer casualties. All of them took refuge in the air raid shelters. At that moment, the alien warships opened up again. Its terrifying laser cannons. The president rushed to fire a missile in an attempt to attack him, but it was blocked by a hatch at the bottom. As he watched the laser cannon about to fire, the doctor, captured by the aliens, took off his respirator in anger and flew straight to the bottom of the ship and crashed into the firing cannon. The ship exploded. It burst into flames, and it plummeted to the ground. The old man avenged himself. He became a hero. On the other side, on the mothership, David and Smith, after completing their mission, the ship was activated. They were in despair. They greeted the aliens in the command module, across the command module, and fired a nuclear bomb at the mothership. Luckily for them, the ship's fixtures came loose at that moment. Smith rushed to launch the ship and escape, with several alien ships in pursuit. In a moment of crisis, the two made it out before the hatch closed. At the same time, the aliens could only watch the countdown to the nuclear bomb. The space mothership launches and explodes. Humans were finally victorious, but little did anyone know, 1 second before the explosion of the mothership, an alien distress signal was sent out.